The 1990s marked a pivotal moment in history when the fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War. As the winds of change swept across Eastern Europe, a German rock band named the Scorpions captured the essence of this transformative era in their iconic ballad. But what if I told you there was more to this song that meets the eyes? Join us as we navigate through the secrets and rumors surrounding Winds of Change and its alleged connections to the CIA. To covert operations during the final days of the Cold War. From Moscow to Washington, our journey will take us behind the scenes. Did the CIA have a hand in shaping the anthem of change? Or were these just rumors shrouded in mystery? Well, join the Conspiracy Outpost as we unravel these threads of history and the power of music and the role of intelligent agencies in shaping the world's events. Get ready to venture into the unknown and discover the truth behind the Scorpions' Winds of Change. I'm your host, Casey.
I'm Mike.
I'm Jamboree Joe. And and another fun fact, the beer I just cracked was indeed a hurricane. So
I was going to listen to the song today, but I got caught up with taking a nap. So.
It's a decent song. It's pretty mellow. It's yeah, I like it.
It's like a song that keeps playing, and there's subliminal messages in it that say, "Don't commit adultery. Obey your local lawmen."
I know this was my thing, but unfortunately, I didn't look up shit on it because I've been very, very fucking busy, both working construction and playing in 3 bands lately. But hey, let's fucking get it. I chose this one because it's music oriented and I love music.
There was like an 8-part podcast that I wish I would have known about because I didn't really look into anything until today because all this shit
I understand.
going on.
I've been so busy. Dude,
I
was late on my fucking edit. I was trying to get it done in the morning, but it's like the night before when I got home on Friday the night, I got home at 3:00 in the morning from my gig. I slept in Saturday. I had to fucking go and fucking practice, write, and then actually go and touch up some shit on a house that I was working on. So
yeah, we can hear you, Joseph, but I
didn't get done on that. I didn't get done on that until like 8:00 at night because I had started late that day. And then I stayed up again till like 2 or 3 in the morning because my sleep schedule's fucked. And so it's like I started editing on fucking Sunday instead of Saturday at like fucking 11. Because I fucking woke up at 10. When I started this podcast, I never thought I'd be this busy. Because I only had one band going at the time, and that band wasn't even really gigging that much. And now both bands are gigging quite a bit. We're trying to at least get a practice each per thing, and one band is trying to fucking like now we're bringing in a new bass player, new fucking guitar player. And it's getting wild. I'm having a hard time finding time. It's hard. I know both of y'all work fucking full-time jobs too, so it is hard for I think all of us.
And then fucking trying to balance family shit too. Yeah.
Alrighty, so Winds of Change kind of spiraled away out of there. So this is a song by a West German rock band named the Scorpions. It was recorded on their 11th studio album, Crazy World, in 1990. It was, per their record, not the conspiracy one, it was composed and written by the band's lead singer, Klaus. How do you say his last name, Mike? Is it Mean or Maine? It's Meine.
Meina.
N-E. I think it's Mean.
Give me a second.
But I'm not sure. Klaus Mean.
How's it spelled?
Meine. Mean.
Mine? No.
But he's German, so that's why I was like,
Mine. I don't know. I'm the worst person.
I tried to get him on our podcast too to talk about it, but he didn't respond to me as per usual. No one ever does.
They want to get paid. They don't want to just talk to people.
He did well, we'll get down to it, but he did an interview with the magazine about it, but I wanted him to come speak upon it.
So it's Klaus Main, I would say.
Main? Okay.
I think so.
Okay, Klaus Main. And produced by Keith Olsen and the band.
Not related to the Olsen twins, right?
Actually, they are.
Really?
I have no idea.
Like, wait a minute.
Hold the phone.
So, per the actual like story, like the band story, it said his lyrics were composed when Klaus Main, following the band's after they went to him and the band went to a visit to the Soviet Union at the height of the political reform movement of the Communist Party, and then The Winds of Change was released as the album's third single on January 21st, 1991, and became a worldwide hit. And then that was just all the background that I did on the actual song, but then we got some conspiracy stuff. So I wish I would have knew about this. I wish I would have did an actual research 2 fucking weeks ago, because then I could have listened to this podcast. But there's this podcast called Pineapple Street Studios podcast, Wind of Change, and this podcast released May 11th, 2020, and it was the whole premise of the podcast was raising questions regarding the song's origin. Patrick Radin-Keefe, a New York author and host of the podcast, investigates the allegation that the song was written by or connected to the CIA, citing a rumor originating allegedly from inside the CIA agency itself. So when he first heard about the rumor from his contacts, it was about a decade ago, and I guess he was intrigued by it ever since. And then it's crazy because CIA did have their hands in a lot of shit. I mean, I'm not saying that they did do this, but there's a quote by him. He says, "Of course we know the guy of the podcast. He said, of course we knew the Berlin Wall was going to fall. Of course the Soviet Union was going to collapse. But the people in the CIA at the same time didn't take it all for granted. There was a sense that the Soviet Union was going to last forever, and the CIA needed to do everything they could do to undermine it. And then that meant using every weapon in their arsenal, including the most American of cultural exports was heavy rock. Soviet officials have long been nervous over the free expression that rock stood for and how it might affect the Soviet youth." Keefe says that the CIA saw rock music as a cultural weapon in the Cold War, and Winds of Change was released a year after the fall of the Berlin Wall and became the anthem for the end of the communists and reunification of Germany. It had its soft power message that the intelligence service wanted to promote. Where'd you go, Mike?
He disappeared. Do you think the government had a hand in hip hop as well, with Ice Cube's cousin Del the funky Homo sapien? Because you got to brush.
Is that an actual person?
I don't know if that's Del the funky Homo sapien.
Never heard of him. And I didn't know Ice Cube had a brother either.
No, it's his cousin.
Oh, cousin.
Yeah, he was a
I guess that makes sense that he would have a cousin of some sort.
Yeah. No, he has the song called fucking If You Must. And I can't remember the fucking lyrics. I'm about to pull them up right here. This needs to be stated here. Okay. It's important to practice good hygiene, at least if you want to run with my team. I'm about to get into some shit that I've seen. That fool's breath, I mean, so bad, it'll melt your ice cream. That's just the beginning of it. I was just trying to find the brush your teeth thing. But the whole song, just seems like telling you how to brush your teeth. So maybe not the CIA maybe didn't write the song, but it could have been someone from there's like big pharma, this big dental, big dentistry. It's just like, hey man, we know your cousin's big. Yeah, man, I want to do some music too, like whatever. And it's like, I bet I could do the same stuff. It's like, well, okay, you want to do some gangster rap? Well, we had something in a slightly different direction. How about we just get you to rap about personal hygiene? You don't want to stink, man. What's more, there ain't nothing more gangster than having your teeth brushed. I don't know.
Gingivitis is a son of a bitch.
You want to talk about Bloods and Crips, but we're here to talk about gingivitis. I don't know, somewhere in there, maybe implement, gingivitis can't bite us. I don't know, man. I got a buzz already.
Buzz. No. I guess you couldn't, like in Germany during their shit, you couldn't buy Western music in record stores. You could only get it on the black market. And if you got it, you can get in hella trouble, I guess, if you're listening to like bands like the Scorpions. Keith interviewed people from Moscow and St. Petersburg who risked arrest because I guess that song meant a lot to them. And I guess he was saying that would it change like to these people? He was asking them, would it change your mindset if you found out that the original song was actually a CIA operation and not from the band? But that's just I don't know if it would or not to the people. I was just saying because the guy who did this podcast, he said that would the music mean like have a different meaning to you if you found out that it was actually a CIA operation and not just a band creating it for the post-communist era.
It totally would. Yeah, because one comes across as wholesome, one comes across as government pawn
and mind manipulating kind of deal.
Yeah.
If you already have a history with the song that's, you have like memories with it, I don't think it would change it too much. People still listen to
feel like it would.
R. Kelly. People still listen to R. Kelly songs after knowing what he did to people. Children.
Yeah, but at least now you can be like, oh, I get it now. He was talking about the children.
He was talking about the children the whole time. Or
but
Michael
this
Jackson.
One is like,
I don't know. You gotta.
I get it now. He was trying to, manipulate me the entire time, whereas R. Kelly was just trying to manipulate the children.
Well, I don't know. I like Dave Chappelle's joke. He's like, how old is 16 really? He's like, if I'm 16 years old and some guy has to piss on me, I'm not going to stand in the way. I'm going to move out of the way. He's like, those bitches were laying down asking for it.
Yeah, he said unless they offer him whatever money, it's like, all right, whatever. It's like, watch the eyes. I don't know. I think that really kind of almost falls, it kind of borderlines separate the artistry from the artist. I don't know, because if it is like trying to subliminally whatever, I mean, there are songs that outright try to fucking tell you like what to do, and people still, I don't know, listen to it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but a lot of people.
I'm still over here thinking about Del the Funky Homo Sapien. All right.
Yeah, but a lot of people they'll read into shit that's not even there either. They'll read a book that has nothing to do with murder, but then yet go out and murder somebody because they said the book inspired them to do it. This is a book about bees and flowers. What the fuck are you reading into?
I don't know what I was gonna say. People misinterpret things all the time. So when
for sure.
It comes to a song, if it's a song trying to subliminally tell you to do shit, and it's like, well, you ain't got to. I mean, for fuck's sake, the what was it? The Blackwater Mercenaries? They were fucking killing innocent people while blasting fucking Elvis songs. I don't know.
Why didn't you bring that up during our Elvis episode, you bastard?
Oh, I should have. There was footage way back in the day where it's like wise men say only fools.
There's something about listening to some like old timey music and murdering people. You know, when you get on like Fallout New Vegas and you just put on like the music and then you just go around murking motherfuckers. Ooh, got some music playing in the background as we see.
Yeah, I figured we should probably listen to it.
I'm gonna be real. I wouldn't have listened to this song regardless. It's not really my wheelhouse. I don't care if the government.
Matthew would sing this very well. Have you guys heard this yet?
No, I've never listened to this song before in my life.
I think we were ear prepared for this pod.
It is cool though, because it is talking about like the changing of times and stuff, and being.
I don't see if fucking whatever. So you have 1,000 people Bible thumping, and I mean the Bible's literally there for people to follow, like rules and regulations. If they did alter the fucking lyrics, or they wrote the lyrics to the song to subliminally.
So far, it doesn't seem that bad. It doesn't seem like altered, but
yeah, I don't see what they're fucking shifting. And if they're what's the difference between? It's kind of dumb if you think about it, because how many people write songs literally telling people to do the right thing and everything that's not government? I don't think it should change anything if the government wrote the song, honestly. That doesn't change anybody preach it.
I
think it would change it if it was like if they wanted communism to stay around and the people didn't want to.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, you have songs that are just trying to preach about like peace and shit. You have the KRS-One song, Self-Construction, which is a bunch of rappers together where literally the movement is the movement is Stop the Violence. And it's just them talking about like putting your guns down and fucking being peaceful. Be the peace you'd like to see. And it's not just that. I mean, you got other fucking songs from thousands of people.
Like Green Day saying they don't want to be American idiots.
Their whole thing fucking anti-government, which I get, but if
the CIA wrote this guitar solo, then fuck.
See, I don't think they would have wrote the actual music, just maybe the lyrics.
The lyric, giving them the
I mean, like, hey, if I was CIA agent, I'd probably write a guitar solo so people knew what was up.
The one CIA agent with the fucking ponytail.
He's like, I wrote the 8-minute guitar solo that was in Freebird. Why? Like, because it's fucking dope, dog.
You guys wrote the lyric. You guys wrote the lyrics. What are we supposed to play this to? That's up to Brad. Brad and his guy comes in with a suit and tie, and he has a braided ponytail.
Yeah. In case everybody's wondering right now, we are listening to the song at this moment. I'm listening it so loud that I can barely hear the rest of them, but we are listening.
So, yeah. So fucking.
Is this the original music video, or is this just some video off of Facebook?
I don't know. It might be a lyric video.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's some child in fucking dandelions.
That's what I was. Well, because I have this. Oh no, because the original one's in black and white, so that makes sense. And it looks like they're actually singing, and there's a firework in the background. I didn't see none of that shit in this video.
Yeah. Dude, so I did feel we had to listen to it. What do you guys think about the video so far? Or at least we watched the lyric video.
Do you want to share the actual video to you guys?
I mean, I could have chosen that, but it's like I wanted the lyrics because it's more about the lyrics, you know?
Yeah. The music video's nothing. They had some of those scenes in it. They just have it like showing like war a little bit. There's some tanks, some soldiers. I don't know. I'm sure it was a very strong and powerful video back when it. But what's it called? It says among former operatives and leather-clad rockers from Moscow to Kiev to a GI Joe convention in Ohio. It's stories about spies doing the unthinkable, about propaganda hidden in pop music, and a maze of government secret. Winds of Change, an offbeat 8-part investigation. Yeah, see, it was an 8-part. Yeah. So that's the same fucking. Yeah.
The GI Joe thing. That just reminded me. Robert Kirkman's working on a new comic. Forget what it's called. It's this alien type whatever thing. But I was like, oh, this sounds pretty cool. But what it is, it's supposed to be a new comic thing to merge two franchises together, which is GI Joe and Transformers. Because the movies just did that. Now they're doing it comic wise too. And Robert Kirkman is doing a gateway comic in between that, basically fusing the two together.
Where'd my fucking
That's not that important. I was trying to say before, I don't know if I was heard, but I don't understand. Like, it wouldn't change the meaning of the song to you if you figured out the government wrote it. It's like, what are they manipulating you into? Because listening to the lyrics of that song doesn't really seem close the door.
Yeah, I don't think it's very closed door either. If anything, they were opening doors.
It doesn't seem like there's anything in there that's like super subliminal. It's like it seems like a really feel good song. It's like, what is it doing? Telling you to do something the right way? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if you guys heard me, but the thing about like that song from KRS-One, Self Construction, it's the whole song's about stopping the violence. Like it's a whole PSA. It's a really dope song, but it has a bunch of people in it. But it's like KRS-One says in it, you got to be the peace you'd like to see. And it's a really moving song. And if I heard that all these rappers,
if he knew all these rappers were doing what they did, then he'd be like, fuck this shit, dog.
If I learned that all these rappers were fucking told by a different agency to here's the lyrics to it, I'd be hurt that they didn't write the lyrics. But the song's still good. I have like a history with it. It's still a good song.
I mean, but then again, for those who stand for something, wouldn't you feel kind of betrayed? Like if NWA was only putting their anti fucking cop raps out in order to push a movement instead of just like, hey, this is what's happening in our neighborhood. If they were trying to push a political movement.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that would, I guess, hurt a little bit. Because, I mean, especially because that's like a distraction kind of thing. You're pushing hatred towards, or pushing something that actually, like I can't even think of the words right now. When you're pushing you're pushing some kind of like anti whatever to distract from something else that's going on. That's kind of fucked up. But I don't see the.
There was in a Sirius XM interview with Eddie Trunk on May 13th, 2020, Maine stated that it's a fascinating idea and it's an entertaining idea, but not true at all. In December 2020, it was further reported that investigation of the song's origins based on the claims from the podcast will be adapted into a Hulu series directed by Alex Karpovsky. I don't know how to say it.
Alex Jones. No. How funny would that be?
The frogs are gay and the music was written by the CIA. Jesus. Yeah, no. So he denies it, which obviously, I mean, even if he was telling the truth or not, I don't think he would come out and say, oh, yeah, the CIA gave us a little hand in this. But I just lost my train of thought.
Of course he did, little bit.
What were you saying, Joseph?
I was just fucking yelling at my kid because he's fucking destroying everything. This is fucking whole fucking bitching at me cycle. Oh.
I'd bitch at you too if you were my dad.
I was just saying earlier, yeah, if somebody wrote like lyrics, whatever, to distract you from something, then I'd understand. If they're trying to like get a message out. But That's probably doesn't make any sense. Also got a fucking buzz going on here, so I guess if they, yeah, I can understand if it's fucking invasive shit. Like they're trying to fucking invade your mind with some shit, like trying to fucking get you to subliminally think a way without you thinking you came up with it. That'd piss me off too, I guess. It's like people that are, I don't know. It's like Google. I don't mind like some of the ads on Google, but it's like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want the government knowing that much shit. But at the same time, it's like, well, you're also on a phone. You also carry a phone everywhere you go, so you don't care that much. So they're not in your business. But you care enough that they know what type of headphones you want. I don't know. There's also this comedian on Netflix. It was fucking hella funny. The guy said Google saved his life, and he was going on this fucking. I forget the comedian's name. He's hella funny. He was saying how he was Googling how to kill himself, and they gave him the fucking suicide hotline. And he was like, I don't want this shit, whatever. And then he's like, so I had to go to Reddit to figure out how to kill myself. And they told me, oh, it's easy. You know, you stop breathing because, or you start breathing again when you try to, whatever. It's not because you're trying to get air. It's because you're trying to release the fucking, can't even think of the shit. Carbon. Oh, God.
Carbon monoxide? CO2?
No, I don't fucking, the shit you breathe out. I can't think of it right now. Beers
CO2.
Yeah, so anyways. Oh my God. I'm getting dizzy. From anger and the drinking. Yeah, so anyways, he says yeah, so you gotta get get an old car, one that won't pass like smog, preferably in the 90s. Whatever, put a fucking hose through the fucking exhaust in your fucking garage, put it through the window slightly cracked. You just put on your favorite playlist and you just wait to meet Jesus or whatever. And he was like, and I'm doing this stuff. And then I go, and then right after this, I look at this. Google gives me a fucking advertisement for a 1990 something car. It's like these motherfuckers. Like they wouldn't show him how to kill himself. When he looks how to kill himself, he needs this old vehicle. Google shows him where to get the vehicles. I just trying to prop it on my death. It's like, so that's why I'm still alive. Whatever. It's like, because as long as Google's alive, there'll be and he said his name, and I can't remember his fucking name. It's on Netflix, the stand-ups. I think it's in season 3. I forget his name, but it's hella funny. He's like, he stayed alive and like in spite of Google because they're trying to give him the vehicle to kill himself, trying to profit off his death. That shit's hella funny. Kind of spiraled out there a little bit. I don't know. I don't think I could change the emotion of a song that that I've already been listening to for so long. Another good example is there's the Game song featuring Michael Jackson, which turns out wasn't Michael Jackson. It was a Michael Jackson sounded like him. And I don't know if they ever got in trouble for that shit. But the guy came out and flat out said, it's like, oh yeah, I'm the one that sang in that song. And it's like, my God, dude, that's like the ultimate betrayal. This is Michael Jackson's voice. That's how they get you. And it's not, but it's still a good song. Felt ultimately betrayed. I don't know. The thing about lyrics is you interpret them the way that you interpret them. So, I mean, even if there's like subliminal messages in it, doesn't change the way you perceive the lyrics. Even though they're trying to tell you to believe this and that. You don't necessarily, that's a tricky one with songs. Because a lot of times I'll listen to a song and it could be about like heartbreak and shit like that, or someone betraying you. And I don't necessarily listen to the lyrics of songs thinking that it was a separate person that did it. Sometimes I listen to songs about like heartbreak, but putting that other person as myself too. Like you hurt yourself kind of thing. Like they're a separate person. It's all about interpretation with shit. A lot of people listen to a fucking love song or a heartbreak song and think it's like one of their parents instead of like a loved one, unless it's oddly specific and says, you used to fuck me good and now you don't, or some shit.
Yeah, maybe they could still be thinking about their parents though.
If you're in Alabama, it would still have the same point to it. But no, I'm saying, yeah. So, I mean, people alter, like, they interpret lyrics differently. So
some artists that have collabed with American espionage services include Louis Armstrong, Nina Simone, and the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. All did secret projects with the CIA.
allegedly or actually did?
Actually did.
I'd only feel betrayed if
I don't know what they said, but that's just what
if Raven Simone was in there, because you said a Simone in there. Wasn't the Simone I know, not Simone I love.
I'm actually going to listen to this 8-part podcast probably tomorrow. We'll see. I should have listened to it prior, but I'm kind of more interested in it now that we're discussing it because they said they got CIA people on there. They got other artists that were talked to by the CIA to change their lyrics in their songs to fit the world time. So it just seems like it's going to be an interesting listen to. I'm gonna check her out.
Check her out, brother.
I should have did it prior, but I've had a lot of shit going on the last week, so I haven't really had the time to.
Yeah, it's been kind of long.
But next week I'll have a good fucking.
You have a good understanding.
Yeah, because we're doing Project Iceworm, so it's gonna be cool. And this is that's a program that was going on during the Cold War.
Ooh-wee.
This time we're not going to be talking about Nazis. We're talking about the Soviets.
Oh, we're gonna find some Nazi stuff to talk about.
I'm sure, dude. I swear to God, there's going to be some fucking Nazi shit in there at some point.
I'm gonna purposely
if
look
Casey
for
brought it up, there's going to be Nazi stuff.
Super unintentional. I didn't know that all the stuff that all the secret government operations all just dialed back to the Nazis. But as they say,
that's not only your fault. That's the government's fault for having so many operations with the Nazis. You can't look up a single operation with the U.S. government and be like, "There's no Nazis involved."
Well,
like, are you sure about that? There's no Nazis involved. It's like, well, there's a little. It's like, what is the little? It's like 90% of the people involved were Nazis. It's like, God damn it, U.S. government!
It wasn't.
I thought it was clean on this one.
This whole year
is that not how it goes, though?
It definitely is. What they say is any good conspiracy starts out a Nazi.
Nazi Germany.
This one actually might have some Nazi shit in it.
The Nazis, man, they were the ones that covered up flat Earth and the hollow Earth, man. They also hid Amelia Earhart's body and they turned her into a super soldier by giving her a bunch.
We know what happened to her. She got into an epic battle with the crabs. And
that's my favorite theory, and I'm gonna stick with that one to the day I die. She became crab feed. This feels like a really short podcast.
Yeah, that's. Well, I mean, because I should have listened to that fucking other podcast, man.
I should have did some fucking things, and I was going to, and I got off work today.
I'm also very distracted tonight, so there is that.
Well, even all the articles that I read, they all basically say the same thing. It all points back to that podcast. So I think it's more of like we can revisit this at some point in the future, but
we probably should.
But we need to listen to that like 8-part podcast and then discuss what they were discussing on there, because I feel like that would make it more.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did not come prepared to this one at all. I've been super busy, and I think that's been the same for everybody else in this. Unfortunately, we don't make money from this podcast, so we can't exactly take time off. We are just doing this in the wee hours that we have, trying to support ourselves and families that we have.
What are you talking about, Mike? We make a little money.
Not enough to support, bro.
Yeah, I know. Because you guys aren't on our Patreon, so get on our fucking Patreon and start supporting your boys.
Our wieners are on there.
That is not true.
I mean, we can get them on there if you guys keep asking for our wieners will be on there.
Yeah, you ask us twice to do anything, we'll do it.
But for wieners, you gotta ask 3 times.
I'll do anything. I'll do anything if you say my name 3 times.
Humor.
I had a good ass idea for a book. It would be called not a book, but like a TV show or maybe a book. I don't know. The Alcoholics Guide to a Good Time. And it's just like all these rules that we've come up with over the fucking years of shit. It's like hydrate before you intoxicate. Like
I think that would make both a good book and a good YouTube series.
That's what I thought would be cool, and I would base it a lot off of fucking experiences. We've actually had fucking drunk.
We should make it a YouTube series and make it really like tongue in cheek funny.
You meet a random guy trying to sell you meth? Go drink with him. He'd be a good friend.
I just picture.
If you're Casey, then go drink with them.
And Matthew.
Not,
like people in their fucking like early like 20s, like fucking just getting there kind of thing, because that's the way I picture it. But I mean, you could do it with an older cast too. It's just it just seems like it fits more with people still trying to figure. I mean, everybody's trying to figure themselves out, but people that are just getting pushed into the outside world of being told what they're supposed to be doing at the age of right out of like high school, I guess. But like just fucking. But I mean, you can change that to anything really. Because I'm still doing semi the same. I'm not doing as much stupid shit, but. I mean, for instance, I'm not jumping through bonfires and burning my eyelashes off anymore, but
it was a good time.
It was a good time. Not waking up and wondering where the fuck I am.
That's always fun. Like, where the hell?
Waking up, wondering where you are,
right now.
And then once all the memories hit you at once, like a fucking fast forward VHS tape, and you're like, oh shit, dude. I just fucked my friend's kid's grandma, and I need to get out of here.
That's just funny.
We have a lot of good stories, all of us. Like, I don't know, we can form them all into one really good fucking funny series, I think.
It'd be hilarious, like a little documentary talking about shit.
Yeah, I just fucking turn it into something.
We should do it like a Trailer Park Boys type thing. We should just do it as a YouTube video.
Would be cool. And I mean, we have so many fucking drinking rules that sometimes don't even make fucking sense.
So why not? Hey, why not put out some purely entertainment things from the podcast like that? Get to show our personalities a little bit more.
It'd be cool. We can definitely.
How would everybody else feel about that? Because I feel like this should be a podcast part of the podcast. What we're talking about right before we end out. Like, if you feel like this would be a good idea, where you want to see more of our random thoughts put into podcast or put into fucking videos, let us know. But yeah, as far as the subject of video goes, how do you guys feel about it? So I don't feel like the CIA wrote this song.
From what little we did, yeah, no, I don't think the CIA wrote it. I don't think
we definitely need to revisit this, and we will. But as of right now, I don't feel like the CIA had anything to do with the song.
We definitely need to look on Genius for the lyrics and see the way they're interpreted on there.
I feel like if the CIA did write the song, it'd be a lot more uncouth and in your face. Be just straight up like propaganda put in words, and this just seems like a very tasteful way to voice a political movement at this time, because it was actually very tasteful in my opinion. I don't know what you guys feel, but like I feel the government would not be as tasteful.
Nah,
They would have to try to hide the lyrics, but I don't believe the CIA
I don't feel like they would think that way though. Like, this seems like a band writing a song. As someone who has written songs with bands, this seems like a band writing a song in this way.
It's more believable.
I feel like if the CIA were to take a part in writing this, it would be very in your face, and there'd be no nuance to it.
It'd be more believable. It's more believable if they gave a band a script, like a general idea, like a summary of what they want, and had them turn it into a song for them.
I feel like even if you did that, there'd be a lot of like blatant non-nuances to it.
Yeah, I guess so.
But it's a very well flowing song, and it doesn't deliberately address what is actually going on in it. So I feel like again, if we possibly did more research, which we didn't do that great of research.
I think a good musician could transition, because I mean, there's rappers you can give them a subject and they make it their own. But I don't think that they actually I don't think they actually, like, the government was involved in that fucking song. But I think that if they were, I think that they'd be able to make it their own. But I don't think, the government had anything to do with it. I think that's
unless because the CIA has been known to fund projects, like they funded a movie, I can't remember the name of it, and all this stuff. So what if they just funded
gave them money? It's like, you don't want anything in return? No, but just keep it anti-communism. No, I don't know. just keep
on keeping on,
Keep on keeping on,
We'll pay for this album. See, I can get behind that the CIA funded them, but I don't think they wrote the lyrics, because I feel like the lyrics were more personal to them than it was.
Yeah,
it would have to be. And then
well, that's no different than a record label telling you, as record labels do, don't do this, do that. Dumb down these lyrics, simplify them so people really understand it. Make this more basic. Make this seem more complex when it's not. I'm doing this deliberately by saying record labels are stupid, because they want everything in your face. They don't want you to think. They want you. There's a brand. They want you to do this specifically that way. And actually, that kind of goes towards my point with things. Record labels tell artists what they're allowed to write about and what they're not. So who's to say the CIA couldn't do the same thing, actually? Because they literally, like, artists constantly, they hate that they get put in a bubble and they're forced to write a certain way. They're not allowed to explore anything different, change things up. No, this is the sound. This is the way it has to be. No. Take that out of your song. You're not allowed to say that. Do this. Don't use that word that has 3 syllables. Break it down to like 1.
Hey, I can hear everything you're saying. I need you to not speak clearly and just start mumbling.
Or no, with like modern day like hip hop stuff. Yeah, that's just like, nah. I understood a word you said. No, but no, that's exactly how, like.
Can we take that word that you said, elevator, and just go?
Don't use the word apathetic. Just say you didn't. Just say emotionless or something. I don't know. You didn't feel it.
Motherfuckers ain't walking around with the goddamn thesaurus or dictionary. They don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Don't do that shit. It's kind of changed a lot with like a lot of like bigger named artists. They're allowed to do whatever the fuck they want, but don't expect to be able to do the same thing first when you're coming up, especially if you ain't signed by another artist. Like example, Atlanta Records. You know how many people I see wearing fucking speaking of record labels, I see a bunch of like kids wearing Death Row shirts. And it's like, I know you don't know what the fuck you're wearing. Like, I looked that up because I was like, who
I saw the NWA movie.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like the Wu-Tang shirts. And I seen those like spike up, like the amount of people wearing those. Like
because they're retro, Joseph.
But then I noticed like a sir, I don't know, like it just like a bunch of people after that show came out, and I was like, I know you don't listen to them. You're like 16 years old, and you live in the middle of nowhere, as I do now. But I was like, you don't really know how any of that shit works, or like the music, not how that shit works. But I mean, I don't think you've listened to anything. Think you've watched the show. You don't know how, like, who they are. I don't know why I said how the shit works. But the same thing with fucking the Death Row shit. It's like, who you listen to that's on Death Row? Like, I mean, Snoop Dogg owns the label now. I don't know who Snoop Dogg has signed to it.
No idea.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like, I know these kids don't. I know for sure. I'm not one of those people who's like, name one song, but I'm just like, that's weird. I don't even wear shirts with my favorite, like, fucking artists on them. Really?
Well, these are the unforgettable rappers signed to death row: Tupac, Dre, Daz Dillinger, Corrupt, the DOC, the Lady of Revenge, and Sam Snead were the top ones.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, who's signed to it now? That's because kids are wearing them. It's like, who are they fucking whatever for? And they ain't listening to Tupac.
Let's see. It's a list of current and former artists. Let's see. Second to None, Above the Law, Badass, COP, Boss Hog, Crooked One, Danny Boy, Daz Dillinger, Jay Valentine.
I know Boss Hog. Ooh, Nate knows.
Dre, Jay Valentine, Jay Flex, Jay Well, K Solo, Corrupt, Lady of Revenge, LBC Crew, Little C Style, Little Bow Wow. I don't know. He was on death row.
Little Bow Wow.
MC Hammer, Lisa Left Eye Lopes, Michelle, Milkbone, Mr. Malik, Mark Morrison, Nate Dogg, Snoop Dogg, Outlaws, OFTB, Prince, Idol Joe, Ladle Joe. I'm not sure if that one is RBX, The Realist, Sam Snead, Slip Compones, Scoopafly, Spider Loke, YGD, The Top Dog, Young Shoulders, Castro, Ken Lawson, Napoleon, Peter Pablo, Proof, Suge Knight, The Alchemist, Big Trade.
Proof's dead.
Well, they said they're currently signed, so they probably have some
Proof
short.
was Eminem's best friend. I know Corrupt
Tupac, Warren G.
Corrupt was fucking a part of Snoop Dogg's shit.
There's a few more too, but I haven't heard of a lot of these people, so I don't fucking know most of these guys.
I don't even listen to a whole lot of musicians from like this side of the coast, the West Coast. Oh, okay, the Dog Pound. That's what it was. I knew he was part of Snoop Dogg's group. I just didn't know. So is Daz Dillinger, who's also a part of the Dog Pound. I was like, I know Corrupt. And Warren G, doesn't he have a group with fucking Mount Westmore? Is that what it is? It's a super group, and I know it has fucking E40 and Ice Cube in it. Oh, and Snoop Dogg. Oh, it's not. No, Warren G's not in that. It was Too Short. It's Too Short, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, and E40. You got two fucking. Oh no, it's special guest Warren G for this concert thing. Never mind. But you got it's SoCal and NorCal rappers together. They don't usually. I wouldn't say they don't get along. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they do. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm just making up shit.